we go again. All right, sweetheart, all right. Daddy will get your golden juice as soon as we get home.
Okay, we are on live streaming. Okay, we can start. Okay, everyone can hear my voice. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Rabbi sahri sadri wa yassir amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. We meet again. Thank you for the participants. Still few people on the way to our class. Alhamdulillah, today is Sunday. We start with a bright day. Today is our third session in our history class entitled Civilization in Definition, Characteristics, and Contribution to the World. Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, we can start again. Okay.
Sorry, tadi terpotong tak tahu sebab apa. Okay, minta maaf.
Okay. Do you mind to mute while we are having a class? So today our lecturers are Ms. Asyiqah binti Mohamad Jamil, Ph.D. candidate of History and Civilization. Part-time lecturers of History, Civilization, for MPU, Ethnic Relation, and Titas. We know that civilization is a complex human society that may have certain characteristics of cultural and technological development. Based on definition, there are many contributions of civilization for the world from Islamic and conventional perspectives. You want to know more? You can tune in and we'll discuss more on today's topic. So my name is Rini. I'm the part of RM Consulting. It is a research institution. We provide webinar and training. And the time is yours for our speaker, Ms. Asyiqah. Please.
Okay, I hope that you can see, you can hear my voice clearly today. I'm so sorry on previous session. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bishrali sadri wa yassirli amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Okay, for today's topics, I will share first. Okay, for today's topics, it's regarding on civilization. What is civilization? So we will discuss about the characteristic and its contribution to the world. Okay. Within the discussion, part of the characteristic will I would say like will indirectly explain throughout the discussion from topic number 1 until the end. Okay, so I will continuously say this is a part of the characteristic of the civilization, and this is part of the contribution of the civilization itself. Okay. Okay, I hope you can see. Okay, this is our table of contents. What is civilization? What makes us what makes human as a civilized being? Okay, how civilized we are. Okay, actually, and then we talk about the Islamic perspective of civilization in the views of Ibn Khaldun, and the last one is the legacy of civilization throughout the world. Okay. For the introduction, of course, we want to know what is civilization. Okay, throughout the meaning itself is coming from the Latin word civitas or civilis. Okay, means a city. This part of the human nature. If you want to do something or we want to stay or we want to stay alive, we have to make we have to have a place that we call our house or our home. That means city is part of the nature of human being as their house or their home. Okay, which when we have a civilization, that means one particular society or one society must have their own places in order to build the civilization. Within the civilization, it will be recorded in history. So history, previously that we discussed on the last 2 weeks, history is part of the civilization, which history itself explain how civilization work throughout the time. Okay. Okay, the word civilization itself just used during around 80th century, 80th century, yeah. It is around 1700, okay, 1700 CE by French anthropologists, which to differentiate between a society that civilized and the society that uncivilized. That's mean they want to, you know, to measure the power of the European nation, which mean the white skin nation, with the non-white skin nation. Okay, so they want to, you know, to put some measurement of the superiority and inferiority among the people, among the society, white versus non-white. Okay, so this kind of the civilization also during that time can be a measurement for to be put the European as a ethnocentric toward the other non-white version color of skin. Okay. Okay. So what civilized society mean by the French scholar during 18th century is they try to differentiate the progress of the style of living of the people itself. Okay, so for them, people who are not white, not having a proper living life or style, it was marked as uncivilized. Okay, so they mark the development of urban settlement and no longer nomadic. That means if you are not moving around, okay, you are not moving around according to the season, you just stay there, either it's winter, spring, summer, and so on. You are considered as the civilized society. Okay, okay. Which when civilized society, we have our own food supply. Okay, we have our own food supply. We have a well-managed government. That means we have a government. We have a family. That means a social organization. We have a proper social organization, and also every person or every people who are involved in this kind of settlement, they have their own specific job. Either they have a hunter, they have a for people who are fulfill or protecting people from the danger. That's mean for the security purpose. People who are doing farming and so on. So they have a specific job. So this if you fulfill this kind of the characteristic, you are marked or you are considered as a civilized society. While the uncivilized society, of course, the uncivilized society is the against what we call as a civilized society. Okay, the native lack of modern system of government. That means no proper government. Okay, maybe they have just a king, but there is no wazir, or there is no perdana menteri or prime minister. They have no another minister and so on. So they just what we call this ancient style of government. That means not proper one. There is no modern economic system. It means they still using a barter system. Okay, not using money and so on. Okay, and illiterate, cannot read. They have no language structure. They might have a language, but they don't have a writing. They have they have no ability in writing. Okay. Okay. So Western perspective of civilization is ethnocentric. So they just mark the Western just mark the non-white nation who are having no proper government, lack of economy gain, and also illiterate as part of the uncivilized society. Okay, so what I show you here is part of the African tribes who actually could be considered as a civilized society. And this one also this one is what is African part of the African tribe, and also the Indian tribe in America has been marked as the Western civilization as part of the uncivilized society when they subjugate or when they colonize the areas. Okay. Okay. For technical definition for civilization. Okay. Technical definition are more complex when we can use in different ways. Okay. Because the technical one had been used widely during 19th century when the expansion of the Western power into the Middle East, Asian region, and also African region. Okay. And then this kind of manifestation of word civilization had been used to justify the European action towards their imperialistic imperialistic ambition or colonization towards the non-European society. That's mean this. Okay, we use this term of civilization in order to civilize other nation. Okay, so this is the mean of justification using the word of civilization among the European society. Okay, so part of that, the Western civilization also use the civilization to standardize or to standardize, and also to put the label of the non-white society. As I said before, they are not well civilized. So when we are coming to your area, we are going to civilize you. That is part of the what we call is technical definition of civilization among the Western society. Okay, so the term a white man burden is very popular during that era, which is explained white man is responsible to educate other nation. That means for them, the non-white nation were not really civilized or even uncivilized in the eyes of the non-white people or non-white nation or European. Okay, from this okay, from this figure, okay, from this picture you can see here, this is the propaganda of the white man burden. When you see the European consider themselves as a soap, you know, the soap, sabun, okay, in order to wash away the dirtiness of uncivilized people. Okay, so they equalize themselves as the cleaner to civilize person to become a better person. Okay, so this kind of the poster of this kind of picture or this kind of propaganda is to justify the action towards the colonialism, imperialism throughout the people of Africa and in Asia. Okay. Okay, so this another propaganda of the white man burden. Okay, on how European justify their acts over their responsibility towards the African nation and also the Asian people. Okay, as long as they can colonize you and put the imperialism imperialism sentiment towards your country, towards your nation, they are able to do anything to you, while you cannot do anything to them. From here, you can see the picture of the Chinese men who are fighting with the European. This action called barbarie, or we call it barbarie in French, means barbaric. That means wild. Okay. Well, while when the white men are beating or fighting with the Chinese or any nation, non-white nation, is called civilization, which means this is the justification on how on how they don't want to put the equal treatment or equal level towards the non-white to the white people. So the action here, we call civilization, is called a law. So when they do something, this is a law. When the other one do is a crime. Okay. So the using the term of a civilization can make can compare us towards the during that time, can compare us between the non-white and the white nation. Okay. Okay. Throughout the 19th century also come the existence of the word or the term of Orientalism. Orientalism means the knowledge of the East by the Western nation, or the Western people, or the Western experts. Okay, so what is Orientalism? Okay, Orientalism is an idea of the Western or the European superiority over the non-European superiority. So this happened because of they use the word of the civilization itself. Okay, on how they depict how they depicted the colonialized or on the colonial nation. Wait, I want to rephrase. On how they depict people who they try to colonize, on how they depict their power towards the people that they colonize. Okay. So the Orientalists also happen to have in three types of Orientalists, three stages lah. If I want to say here, highly trained. First is highly trained. That means they are really understand about the culture of the people that they colonize, or the culture of people in Asia, North Africa, and Middle East. They really study. They really study the culture. They really study the culture, the belief, the tradition, and so on. That's mean highly trained. Mediocre is so and so. They learn something but not really into it. And presumptuous one is they just have a lower level of education, or lower level of intellectuality over the people that they claim that they studied. Okay, that means the presumptuous one could give you a lot of misunderstanding when they try to depict you. Okay, Edward Said, this is the opposite of the Orientalism. Define Orientalist as the West demeaning. Demeaning means the undergraded, demeaning representation of the East politically. This is more on political term because they just want to justify their act of colonialism, the act of the imperialism towards the people who are non-white nation. Throughout the depiction, you can see here, throughout the depiction, throughout the throughout the writing the book about the Asian people, about the North African people, about the Middle Eastern people. Okay, throughout the painting also, they can give you a story that every of us can what we call it when we see or when we read it, we can misunderstood if we don't really study about the person or about the people or about certain society. Okay. Throughout Orientalism also, Edward Said said this is the way how how the Western try to depict, try to imaginize the colonized society as the person, or as the society who has a, what we call it, mystical, unique, what else? That's they couldn't find, or they couldn't found in their own culture. Okay. Sister ini, if you can switch off your
What?
mic. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. So when they can depicted how the people of their subjugation in Asia, North Africa and Middle East, that means this is their power to do that. Okay, this is people of Asia look like this, and like this, and like this. The people of Middle East like this and like this. The people of Africa like this and like this. Okay, so people who doesn't know the real fact will definitely take into the advantage to believe it 100%. So it's quite dangerous for the person who are not really well educated to become a Orientalist. However, Orientalists also got into two types of Orientalists, which are a good one and the bad one. A good one, of course, they genuinely want to know the people of the Oriental. Oriental is mean East, the East. Okay, the East mean here ni lah, Asia, North Africa and Middle East. Okay, we call it the East. North Africa is actually not the East, but it's part of the East. Okay, the Orientalists who are very genuinely on studying about the people of the East, and another one, the bad one, to try to manipulate your thought, to be said that the Eastern people are less civilized or uncivilized than the Western people. Okay, so here you can see the depiction of the guard of harem in I don't know, maybe this is in Spain, maybe this in Middle Eastern area. So they depict the black person or the black people always acting as a slave. The harem one is part of the culture in Middle East. So if you are not studying about the culture of the Middle Eastern and the African region, you will probably misunderstood about the thing that depicted throughout the painting. Another one, I present you the painting of the submission of Prince Diponegoro. This is the case of Indonesia under the Dutch era to General de Kock, art by Nicholas Feynman. Okay, throughout the what we call it Oriental painting also, it depicts a lot about the glory of the Western nation that overshadowed the local power, which in this case is Prince Diponegoro. In this story of painting, Prince Diponegoro had been thrown out from his power, and his this one is his place, if I'm not mistaken. His place had been taken over by the Dutch General de Kock. Okay, so this is the picture depicted the gold depicted the good one, the good side of the Western power, whereby they are able to colonize the person who are not non-white nation. Okay, this also happened to have its own relation with social Darwinism in explaining the civilization according to the white people. Okay, so social Darwinism, this is a part of the introduction for social Darwinism. It's a biological, actually is biological evaluation by Charles Darwin, and then it's added by Darwinists. Okay, social Darwinists, that means the follower of Darwin. Okay, they put the social evolution also. Actually it's only a biological one. Okay, so according to the Darwinists, okay, social Darwinists, it is a biological and social evolution that influenced 19th century scholars of the French and also the Western people. Okay, as I said before, the Darwin origin of species happen to focus on the biological one. Means biological means the plants, the animals, something like that. Not not relatable to the human. Okay, okay. So you can see here, it was only the fittest animal and plants that survived to the process of natural selection. This means here, the strongest one, the strongest animal or the strongest plant, when they live together, the strongest one can survive. Okay, this is happen naturally because Allah make it happen like that. Okay. Okay, when it comes to the social Darwinists, they apply this kind of idea towards the social group or towards the human being. Okay, they argue that individuals and group, okay, just like animals and plants, we also compete toward each other, one another, to success in life. However, the way we compete is quite dirty. Okay, towards the social progress by rising with the wealth and power. So this term is quite, it's not quite, it's really, because it kind of the, what we call it, more on the material side of the idea. Okay, so social progress only could be achieved by material. So this is the way they thought of to become a materialistic in order to survive. Okay, it's not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent that survive. It is the one the most adaptable to change. So this also happened. This is also explaining when you got colonized by Western power or outside power. If you are not taking the changes that they brought, you will not survive. That means you will vanish. Okay. So if you want, in order for you to survive, you have to follow what the colonial government or what the imperial power has ordained you to do. Okay. So that is a part of the relation of a social Darwinism with the Orientalism and also with the imperialism and colonization. Okay, we go directly to point number 2. How civilized are we? How we know that we are civilized? Okay, in 20th century, scholars of modern social and history describe civilization as an urbanized state level of society. So from now, we already have many urbanized area. That means we already civilized, fully civilized actually. Okay, whatever we have today are the reflection of the ancient lifestyle in different interpretation. Of course, previously in ancient life, they got a building. Now we still have a building, but in different shape, different technology that we use, more, we call it more suitable to the area that we built the building and so on. The food, we have the food, more food than before, and so on. Okay, the pre-industrial civilization are recognized as the legacy and base for the future. So pre-industrial means not all of the things that exist during that time are well manufactured right now. But now we have a lot of things produced throughout the manufacturing, because we have a mass production, right? Because there's a lot of people, more people are than before. Okay, so pre-industrialized more on farming, catching a fish, more on the what we call it, more on not auto not auto deducted, more on uh, normal, what we call manual. Okay, we produce many things manually before. Okay, not we, they from the civilization, the past civilization produce manually. Maybe quite industrial but not really modern like us, like now. Okay, okay. So we can see Mesopotamian. They invented, the Aryan people invented wheel. Now we still using a wheel, but in different way. We use a lot of wheel in modern time, but in different way. Uh, the sources that we use to develop wheel also different, not stagnant as before. Okay, Egyptian, they have the technology of mummification, how they preserve the dead bodies of the animal and also human being. Okay, Hindus, town planning. Town planning also we still use until now. Town planning is very important for urbanization. Chinese, the art of porcelain. Porcelain is not only used for for the art things, but it's also used for the tablewares and so on. Okay, so all of the invention throughout the past civilization are still using until now, and inshallah we will still we will be still using it until maybe forever, but in different shape. The upgrading phase. Okay, throughout the upgrading phase. Okay, what constitute civilization? What makes a things should be called a civilization? What make one society to be called a civilized civilization? Okay, so here the civilization should have a social institution. This social institution must have a people. Of course, we have to have a person, human being within a civilization. Otherwise, who's running the civilization? Okay. Okay. So social institution must have a government. We have a family. We have intellectual people. Blah blah and so on. Okay. So this is a social institution. Basically, a human being inside one civilization. Okay. Social hierarchies. The social hierarchies mostly function to label you according to your level, maybe level of your economical gain, maybe the level of your intellectual. But most of the past civilization, social hierarchies are very important in order to differentiate who's you belong to group, which group that you belong to. Which group you belong to. Okay, so that is the function of a social hierarchies. I will show you what is a social hierarchies after this. Okay, political institution and central government. So political institution and central government is part of the social institution. Means you have you have to have some group to manage your society. Otherwise, it's become chaos. Okay, and division of labor, which mean everybody have their own work to do. Otherwise, the civilization will not come into this that existence, in existence. Okay, sorry. Okay, within the social institutions, social hierarchies, political institutions, etc., government and division of labor, also come the side and necessity here. Collection of money, okay, part of the central government. Town and cities, I think is part of the central government also. Writing system in social hierarchies, monumental architectures. This one, okay, town, cities, writing system also had contribute into division of labor. Okay, base agriculture and agricultural techniques. Okay, part of the division of labor and also social institution. Legal system also, complex religious belief and system. Okay, must have a religious belief. There must be, even there is no religion, there must be a belief in something. Okay, arts and craft. This is a naturally come into existence. Metallurgy, this work of the metal art and metal work, inventions and innovation. Okay, so invention and innovation are also part of the metallurgy's arts and craft, and also part of the base agricultural and base agriculture and agricultural techniques. Okay, so all of these are relatable into each other, so cannot be left behind. Okay, so this is what we can see as complex society that civilized. Okay. Okay, another one. Okay, so I divide into two. What are most important and what the second important. Okay. Okay, this is what you see here is a social structure of ancient Egyptian. So this is a what we call this just now, social hierarchies. Okay, social hierarchies of the ancient Egyptian. Okay, primary features. Okay, primary features that should have in one civilization should have a city and states, should have a place to start your civilization, to start your things. Okay, specialization of labor. Okay, everyone got their own job to do based on their class structure of society, based on their level of they belong into their society. You see the pharaoh, the work of the pharaoh is to become a god, okay, to rule everyone. Okay, that is her job, his job. Okay, government officials, noble priests, okay, their job is to direct people into the religious and belief ceremonies, blah blah and so on. Okay, soldiers, their job is to protect the state, to protect the cities. Scribes, to record the information and so on. Okay, merchants, work to prosper the economy of the cities and the people. Craftsmen, to make some invention and innovation. Farmers and farmers to produce the food, to produce the food and also to produce many things. Okay, and slave are part of the farmers necessities. Okay, the second features, beside of having these primary features, we also have to have secondary features, which mean we have to have a monumental public work. Okay, of course, the symbol of the religion of the symbol of the king must have the grandeur building. Okay, grandeur buildings is big buildings and very beautiful one, magnificent one, and so on. Writing. Okay, writing is to depict everything, to record everything. Okay, trade, part of the specialization of labor and also class structure of society, and also science, in order to maintain, or in order to make the innovation and invention go further and go further and also revolve around the time. Okay. Okay. However, the constituent of the character of the civilization is not applicable to all societies, because it's not because some of the society are living in the tribal style of living. Okay, this means not all the tribal are nomadic, but many of them are nomadic. Okay, so I give you the example of the nomadic Arab tribes. Okay, so pre-Islamic Arabian is not really civilized. Not all. I mean, not really civilized. It doesn't mean you are not you are uncivilized. You just less civilized because of the lack of the characteristic that given throughout the historian and also the expert. Okay. Not all of this element may be found in the one civilization, in certain civilization. Not all. Okay, so I give you here the Inca of Andes, people of Inca, they have no writing system, but their writing system are in a form of a rope. You can see here tipu, we call it tipu. The Incans use rope to record the censuses and how much production of their crops or agricultural for the time being. Okay, so they don't have a writing system, but they have a record system in a form of the rope. Okay, the criteria not applicable to all as they refer mainly to societies of modern industrial period. Even until now, not all of the characters that given by the experts are really all, not all. I mean, maybe missing in one or two of the characters, okay, are applicable to us. Okay, nature of civilization. Nature of civilization is more on the things that you are common found in civilization. I don't say here in only one civilization, but here in the case a lot of civilization, the past civilization and common current civilization. Okay, the interconnection between civilization and culture. So we can found this one is in religious belief, language, history, custom, and institution of government. Okay, I give you throughout the religious belief and institution of the government, which also part of the custom of the East Asian culture, which is East Asian is Japan, Korea, and China. They regards the emperor or the king of the highest ruler as the son of God. Okay, the gift from heaven, something like that. That means they're not God, but they are part of the God. They are son of the God. Okay, that means whatever the emperor, the king, the ruler say, they must follow, because what the king said is equal to the ordain of the God. Okay, so this is part of the religious belief, custom, and institution of the government. Okay, civilization are comprehensive. That means relate to everything. Okay, not even one's left. Okay, covered all aspect of human life or human people. So you can see here everything is relatable into one another. Okay. Civilization have no limitation and no specific beginnings and endings. It's also an overlaying cultural element at the time. Means here, whatever you find in different civilization, they just quite similar in characters. However, it's not the same. Okay, but the characters is different. Example, I give you the example of the belief system, religion. Belief system in ancient civilization always polytheism rather monotheism. So we can see a lot in Egyptian culture, in Mesopotamic culture, Indus culture or ancient India. What else? In pre-Islamic era also, people tend to worship a lot of goddess and goddesses. Okay, there's a lot of names in Indian culture. There are more than 1,000 deities that they can worship. Okay, so this is in the case of the ancient Indian. Okay, and also Indian culture. Okay, civilization could fall yet are long lived in comparison to empires, dynasty, king. Wait, kingdoms and governments. Okay, I give you here the example of the achievement of the Mesopotamian Empire. Okay, the Mesopotamian is, we call it as a one civilization, but under the Mesopotamian Empire, they have a different different time of the people who are rule under the Mesopotamian civilization. There is a lot. Okay, so you can see here the Assyrian empire before is a very large one. Okay, when the Assyrian Empire fall, it replaced by the Babylonian Empire, still in the same area, maybe less, maybe they're adding that another area, less in another area, and so on. Okay, they happen to be under the same place but in different principalities or in different dynasties or under different powers. Okay. Okay, so this is meaning by could fall yet you are yet fall yet are long lived. Okay, sometimes this one it means that the Mesopotamian civilization continuously replaced by another. It doesn't mean that fall. This only fall because of the different government or different power take part. Okay, we can see another example is the China government. Okay, Chinese civilization from Ming Dynasty go into the Qing Dynasty. Qing Dynasty collapsed, and now they got what we call it republic power. Okay, still under the Chinese government. So they long live but in different type of power. Okay. Okay, civilization evolved. Okay, different phase of time of civilization by invention and innovation, mainly via technologies. Okay, so we can see here, I can give you the case of lamp. Okay, previously people just use a oil lamp to to illuminate the darkness of the cave, maybe the cave or your house or somewhere else. Okay, but throughout the invention of the people of the previous one, they come with the oil lamp but in different shape. But now we have the electrical lamp because although we have Tesla, Nikola Tesla had invented the electricity. Okay. Okay, aqueduct. Aqueduct is kind of the system that brought water supply into your house or into your agricultural farm. Okay, so throughout the times, we have to pay the respect towards the Roman and Greek people who are giving us the idea of how to bring the water from the high area into the lower area. So using the aqueduct. Okay, the aqueduct previously using the pillar, but now we are no longer using a pillar. Rather than we use a pipe under the ground. Okay, so the evolvement of the invention could be different throughout the time because of we have more advanced in technology and also science. Okay, the evolution of the wheel. This is a very important wheel, very important. Previously, the earliest wheel are made from the stone and wood. Okay, so the stone one is very heavy. The wood one is easy to get get worse. And then throughout the time until I think around 18th century, 70th to 18th century, we got the rubber for making a tire and sometimes wheels. There is a lot of type of wheel that we use today. Okay, so evolve. It's not revolution, it's evolution. Okay, we go to number 3. If you have any question regarding what I've been presenting here, you might say it right now, or maybe you can just write your question at the chat box. Okay. Okay, we go to the third point, Ibn Khaldun's interpretation of civilization. Okay, so in the Ibn Khaldun's magnum opus, Al-Muqaddimah, this is a very famous book using by a lot of the politicians, a lot of the political scientists, social scientists, history and civilization people, and so on, to study about the what actually make human as a civilized, what actually civilization means. Okay, In Al-Muqaddimah, Ibn Khaldun's come into a term of the Umran. Umran means urban. Urban also means civilization. Urbanism also means civilization. So the Umran is quite complex according to the Al-Muqaddimah Ibn Khaldun, which the essence of the civilization is a social organization where the human being come into the cooperation, not living just alone. They must live into the cooperation in order to create one perfect or one complete civilization, urbanism or umrah. Okay, so social organization is the main character of the umrah or the civilization. Okay, how to achieve umrah? Okay, according to Ibn Khaldun, umrah should be achieved by first must have a people, must have a human being inside, human being who are cooperate each other into the social organization. As I said before, social organization is there is a government, there is a family, there is a society, blah blah and so on. There's a lot. Pokok pangkalnya, there must be a people, a society, not as a person, but a society. There's a lot of people. Okay. Just leader. This means the leaders who know how to do the job, qualified to have the to hold the job. Okay. Just government. The government that are supported by people. The government that fair towards its rakyat, towards its people, and Asyiqah sentiment. Okay, just leader and just government. When you got the just leader, you will got the just government. So I don't want to talk about the situation of the political situation nowadays, but because of just leaders and just government are really relatable to the political system. And also other things, because of just leader and just government will give the impact towards the management, the state management, right? Okay, so we talk directly about social organization and Asyiqah sentiment. Okay, Asyiqah sentiment is very important. Okay, I think in many culture of in many states in the world, country in the world, everybody got this kind of the sentiment. Asyiqah sentiments, either we really realize it or not. Okay, it's like indirectly we have it, or automatically we have it. Okay. Okay. In Kitab Al-Ibar of Ibn Khaldun also, this is another magnum opus of Ibn Khaldun, asserted that human needs for the Asyiqah sentiment. Asyiqah in Malay we call it is perkauman, sentiment perkauman. In English is solidarity, something like that. Okay, solidarity. Okay, as a nature of political, as a nature of a human as a political and social being. Okay, so human as a social being, not a personal being. Okay, if you are human but you are living a personal life, not mingle around with the people, that is uncommon. Okay, okay. Why human need for political? Why human needs for cooperation? First, for sustainability throughout mutual cooperation, for asking a help or need for defense against threat or danger. So we need a help. We need to defend our right. We need to defend others' right, and so on. Okay. We need to defend ourselves from our enemies. Okay. Number two, human cooperation and social cooperation regarded as doruri, essential, necessity. It's very we need to. That is automatically we need to. That's why they put the word of doruri. Okay. For example, I'll give you the Malays against Malayan Union in 1946. This is the case of Malaya, before the independent. Okay, so the Malay people comes into the solidarity to become Asabiyah to come against the establishment of the Malayan Union in Malaya. Okay, so they come into to defend their right. What else? To come against the colonial government during that time. Okay, so Duririyon, because they want to defend their right. Okay, number 2, pan-Islamism against the colonials in 19th century. 19th century is 1800. Okay, so here the common things is Islam. Okay, so here there is a Muslim. There is Islam. Islam is the main common sentiment here. Malays, Arab, and other Muslim around the world. Okay, so come into pan-Islamism. So the solidarity, the Asabiyah among the Muslim, we see here in 19th century, come across into the Muslim world to against the oppression of the imperialism and also secularism. Okay, by Muslim first in Malaysia. I think it's around 2000, it start around 2017 to present, which this again happen among the Muslim. It doesn't necessity to be a Chinese or Indian, Malay, Indonesian, Arabs and so on. As long as you are Muslim that living in Malaysia, we come into the sentiment or we come into Asabiyah sentiment of by Muslim first, because we are very careful on what we eat, what we buy, what we put into our body. Okay, so we want to we want to defend against the threat of non-halal product. Okay, so that is the Asabiyah sentiment. In the case of the Indonesia, I would like to touch about the Syarikat Islam. Okay, Syarikat Islam that happen to be found around 1800 also, 1800, which that had been formed to fight against the Chinese businessmen of the batik trading. Okay, so this one also part of the Asabiyah sentiment that happened in Indonesia throughout the Syarikat Islam, throughout the development of the Muhammadiyah and also Nahdlatul Ulama and so on. Okay, so this is part of the Asabiyah sentiment because we need each other under one umbrella of the Islam, maybe under one the umbrella of the race, ethnic and so on. Okay, so that is very important for us. This without Asabiyah sentiment, we are not going to achieve what we want. Okay. Islamic views on civilization. Okay, this is one more on general talk of Islam and its general views on civilization. Okay, basically Islamic views on civilization is like a characteristic of Islamic civilization itself. Okay, based on pure and straight tawhid. That means first is about the oneness of the God. Okay, in Islamic civilization or in Islamic view of civilization, we must talk about the oneness of the God first. No anything else yet. Okay, universal in character, which means all people are equal, even though we have a social organization or we have a social class, but everyone is equal in the eyes of God, which for in Surah Al-Hujurat, based on Surah Al-Hujurat, ayah 13. Okay, ayah 13, based on verily the most honored of you in the sight of Allah is he who is the most righteous of you. Even though Allah create us in different nation, different language, different religion, blah blah and so on, we are same. We are the same in the eyes of Allah. So the principle of the universal is implemented based on the Surah Al-Hujurat ayat 13. Okay, moderate rationalism, which Islam oppose extremism. Too much is not good for us. Okay, in all dimension of human lives, too much is not good. In political, also, you cannot be extremist. In intellectual freedom also, in intellectual also you cannot be extremist. So the Islam propagate the political and intellectual freedom as long as is based on fairness, just, and is giving a good foundation for the entire human being. Okay, tolerance, openness, conduct with wisdom and good manners, whereby pluralism and peaceful coexistence had prevailed. That means the Muslim should be open to all. Okay, it doesn't mean open to the haram thing. That means you have to have the tolerance with the non-Muslim. Let them do the thing that they already believe, because they don't understand what we call. But you have to have the strong mind to do that. Okay, the thing that we see here, you can see the example that happened in Madinah during the life of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when he succeed to make the Muslim coexistent with the non-Muslim of the Christian and also the Jews. Okay, this means they respect each other because of the tolerance. Okay, integrated and balanced. Integrated the worldly life with the last life, okay, which link worldly routine activities to the hereafter, which means it go back to the moderate rationalism and also tolerance, which mean we cannot be too extremist for doing the religious things, and also cannot be too extremist to conduct our worldly life. We must be balanced. Okay, so here in Islamic civilization, you are not going to see the development of building blah blah and so on. It's not going to be discussed as the first character of the Islamic civilization, Islam and its view on civilization. That's one is coming after that. The most important, how we build our spiritual needs for the to obtain the redha of Allah. That is the first. Okay, so in Islam civilization is important, but the most important one is the oneness of God, manners, ethics, and also discipline. Okay, that is the most important one. Without this one, you will never maintain the next one. Okay, the legacy, the last one, the legacy of the past civilization to the world. Okay, the world nowadays is the transformation of the past civilization. That means whatever happened in the past, transmitted into the future, now and future, in different ways, because of the invention and innovation. Okay, almost everything come into existence, of course, because of the will of Allah. If we talk about the Islamic views of civilization, everything come because of the will of God throughout the idea that that Allah give to the human being throughout the innovation and invention. Okay, the past legacy had gone through the evolution and revolution, either throughout evolution. Evolution is a slow phases of the innovation. The revolution is from A directly jump to C, directly jump to J, to Z. That is the revolution. It's a very drastic change for a betterment towards the human being. So it's very important for us to maintain the things. However, we need to upgrade it throughout the innovation. So here is the you can see there's a lot of the contribution given by previous civilization that we are still using until nowadays, maybe inshallah until future. Okay, there, I think actually there's more than this. I just happen to have a time to do this kind of things. Okay, so it's quite chaos here. Actually, this is not yet finished. I will give you a finished version one. Okay. Past civilization, in terms of the management, we have a law, social class, security, politics. This one is to maintain the people, human being. Okay, law. In terms of law, we can see the good law that are previously well maintained and very effective for the people is the Hammurabi Code from Mesopotamian civilization, and also the Asyiqah, the Great Law from the ancient Indian Empire, Gupta Empire. Okay. Social class, also we can see there is a division of labors and division of the economic structure. Okay, security, which we have a lot of the military invention of the good governance in defending the security. We have the art of war throughout the Sun Tzu from the ancient Chinese civilization, and also throughout the politics. So, okay, technologies, we have a metallurgy. Metallurgy means metalwork. Okay, throughout the metallurgy come transportation, weapon. This one we can take a good example from the Egyptian civilization. Transportation, they made the chariot throughout the metal, a good one. Weapon also, also Greco-Roman civilization, we can see a good weaponaries that they made from the metal work. Architecture, engineering, buildings such as we can see the most famous one, pyramid, the mosque also part of the architecture, the legacies of the architecture, engineering, the mosque, the church, and so on. Dam is for the irrigation and also water supply. Okay, so it's also happen to have the connection with the agricultural activity. Okay. Silap. Okay, preservation. Okay, untuk preservation, food preservation, how people previously preserve their food by drying their food or by fermentation, or maybe by menjeruk what pickle, by pickle their food. Okay, mummification, how to maintain the body, the dead body into the same shape, and also the animals and so on. Okay, agriculture, irrigation, that we still are using until now. We have streams, and also the small more than small streams to irrigate our farm. And also sometimes if we are not going to use the traditional irrigation, we use a pipeline underground. Okay, water wheel. Even water wheel are not really popular, but in some area, in some region are still using a water wheel. Okay, botany. Botany is very important in order to produce your agricultural product to become more competent and more to produce more through other farming industry. Okay, still we are still using the same method, the base method, but we widen its horizon into a modern one. Okay, belief. Okay, the belief actually is not religion. The belief is the belief. Okay, you just believe that. That is the belief. based on the belief, it's become a culture. Okay, become a culture. When it become a culture, it's become a tradition. Okay. When it become tradition, part of the tradition will will produce an art. Okay, so they got a lot of the connection into each other. While the religion, okay, the religion is part of the belief which give you a good one, okay, a good side of the belief system. Because in a belief system, there is a good belief and bad belief. But in religion, teach you how to become a good one. Okay, so that is different. Belief and religion, they have a common, but they have a different side of the interpretation. Okay. Science. Okay, science, part of the science must be put in with the technology. We got still, we got another botany, medicine, math. The math, we have astrology, astronomy, physics, chemistry, surgery, pharmacology. Okay, and the pharmacology we have is coming from botany, medicine, also math. So they have interconnected each other. Okay, even we still use it until now. Okay, language. Okay, from language, it's coming arts. Okay, arts, fine arts and literature. Literature got poetry, song, dancing. Fine arts, we got painting and sculpture. Okay, from the painting and sculpture, we got the combination with the architecture and engineering, and also metallurgy, and also the tradition, culture, religion, and tradition. They got into the combination. Okay, I will show you the combination of all of these. Okay. Actually, there's a lot more than this, but I just give you this one. Maybe this one already make you confused, but it's okay. Okay. Okay, I give you the legacies that we can find in one particular topic, or one particular point is the legacy based on religion. Okay, based on religion. Okay, here is Islam. The religion is Islam. The item is building. Okay, the building. Okay, under the building, the construction of the Selimiye Mosque in Edirne, Turkey. Edirne in Istanbul, Turkey. This is a combination of the religious belief, first Islam, architecture, engineering, which there is a lot happening here. Architecture, design. First design, we must have a design for the beautiful or magnificent building. Second, you must come across into the engineering system on how to build it to become to become long lasting. Okay, not collapse in a short period. So this is a very important one. Arts and architecture, you can see from the interior design, from the design of the building itself, and also the shape. Everything they got here got a philosophical idea and mixed with the technology and so on. Okay. Okay. This mosque was built during the Sulaiman the Magnificent. Okay, so this is his complex. As it was served as the mosque is also served as a social center, not only for the ritual of the praying and reading Quran and so on. It's also become the intellectual center, also in social center, which they provide free food for the commoners. Okay, so according to the what we go here, we got arts, we got religion, tradition, culture, technologies, metallurgy and art, engineering, preservation also they got there. So a lot of things happen that we can put into the discussion for one particular building or one particular design. Okay, This one I will manage again. This one is quite havoc here, so I will manage into the a good one lah, so you can understand really well. Okay, I think that's all for the presentation and online class today. I hope you enjoy the pictures given. So if we talk about the civilization or history, we must put the description with along with the pictures. Otherwise, people cannot see what I'm talking about, and they just sleep. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you for listening. I hope there will be additional information from the floor, or do you have any comment? Do you have any suggestion and question? Please ask throughout the microphone, or you can write your question using the chat box. Thank you.
I haven't unmute. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I haven't unmute. Okay, thank you very much for Sister Miss Asyiqah for the
Yeah.
fruitful knowledge on civilization in definition, characteristics, and contribution to the world. If I can give a short summary on what has been conveyed by Miss Asyiqah, most of us know that civilization is come from a white man burden, because we see that the differences when a white man is fighting to the Chinese or maybe to the native, they will call it civilization. But when it's native or Chinese is beating the white, they call it barbarity. So it's like there's a control from the Western societies in terms of the definition of civilization. And also, she mentioned on how civilized we are. We see that if we relate to the 20th century, so civilization is related to urbanism. So if a person who live in urban societies and they will call themselves as civilized. Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. And there's a pre-industrial civilization are recognized as the legacy and base for the futures. And what constitutes civilization? We have a social institution, social hierarchies, political institution, and definition of labor. And also, there's a nature of civilization. We have an interconnection between civilization and culture. Civilization are comprehensive. 3, civilization have no limitation and no specific language. And 4, civilization could fall yet are long-lived. And if we relate to the Ibn Khaldun interpretation from the Islamic perception of civilization, it is also related to urbanization. So urbanization very close to civilization, and the term is mentioned as umran. So as you see in the screen, we have social organization, just leaders, just government, and asabiyah. So to achieve umran, there should be a social organization or society, just leaders and governments. And we see also, lastly, Ibn Khaldun mentioned that human needs for asabiyah sentiment on nature of political social being. So by supporting a Muslim product, by buying Muslim first, to give our strength and to protect our Muslim product. Also, indirectly, also it will protect our domestic products. So we see that in countries that mostly Muslim, like Indonesia, Malaysia, or maybe Middle East, some of us still rely on the Western product. So we're more worshipping on the Western product because maybe the quality is better, and maybe they have more marketing, and they have like maybe low cost for some product. And also they have this stigma that Western product is more long lasting compared to domestic. They mention it because It's all on like paradigm, what they think and what they see in the expertism. But we still have, I mean, for a domestic product made by Muslim, it still have the qualities also, which is similar to the Western product, is how we trust it on it. So I will give to the floor, or maybe the audience have something to ask from Sister Naima or Sister Nurul. Please, if you have a problem with the mic, you can use the chat room. Actually, we have two more participants, but maybe for some technical reason, they cannot attend the class. So please, Sister Naima or Sister Nurul Afika, you can comment or give input with regard to civilization. Maybe you have other opinion that relate to our topic today.
Maybe you don't understand at all.
Because this is our last class. The first, we have topic related to COVID or Black disease. The second is on, can you recall what is the second topic for second session?
History, what nah? I don't remember. But it's only about the introduction to history. What is history?
Oh yeah. So if you want to know more about history, because if you maybe you are teaching histories, or maybe you're teachers of histories, you can relate how the histories are made. From the Western and from the Islamic perspective. There are topic last week. Okay.
Oh, terima kasih atas perkongsian.
Yes. Maybe you have something to ask, Sister Naimah?
Nang tak ada soalan ke? Concept of history.
Tak ada.
Tak ada.
Suka dengar. Tak suka dengar orang cerita.
Oh.
Tak ada nak tanya lagi. Tapi kadang-kadang sebab duduk kat rumah kan. Sebab kadang-kadang dengan Syikah cakap. Lepas tu ada terganggu sikit. Bila anak-anak diminta tu kita masuk balik. Dah ke mana semua kan. Tapi kan ada record link tu kan. So biasanya akan tengok balik kat situ.
Okay, no problem. For kalau ada macam persoalan yang nanti-nantilah kan. If you watch back to the recording session, kalau ada soalan, you can directly ask me throughout WhatsApp throughout mana-mana je lah. It's up to you.
Yeah, because questions is very, very important for us as a speaker.
Same goes to the other two who cannot enter on this session. It's okay. This actually the topic that I learned during my degree years, where I just tambah lah yang mana-mana yang rasa kurang, I just tambah dan give a more or new interpretation of the subject lah. Contoh dia macam ni, the best example that I can give you throughout the Asyiqah sentiment. When I learn about the Asyiqah, it's just only about the culture of Arab people. They like to live in the culture of Asyiqah. But actually Asyiqah we can interpret into the modern world. Lebih berkembang, boleh berkembang dengan lebih besar lagi lah. In term of the by Muslim first, of course we want to maintain the Muslim economic gain kan, and also we want to preserve the quality of halal, apa lagi, we want to fight the non-Muslim product and so on. There's a lot of discussion when we come across into the Asyiqah sentiment in the case of buy Muslim first in Malaysia. How about in Indonesia? Do you have this kind of the what we call it?
There is some group, but not very large group to support Muslim products, buy Muslim product. But most of us we're very supporting on buy domestic product made by the locals. Yeah, so it will give more power to the domestic product and give us more revenue, because buying our local product is like contributing for our local countries, right? Yeah, for our countries.
Oh, means you are buying local product. It doesn't mean the local product produced by non-Muslim. It's okay.
It's okay as long as a domestic product, because mostly the big producers is made. I mean, the owners are Chinese and non-Muslim, but there's also Chinese Muslims who's also producing local products, so it's not a problem as long as domestic product produced by the locals. We support. Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Because
Macam in Malaysia we have a kita ada ni beli barangan buatan Malaysia. That's one. That's one is a buy a local product.
by a local product.
It doesn't mean only Muslim produce. That's mean all lah. Tak kira lah
Yes.
Cina, Melayu, India dan sebagainya.
Mhm.
As long as made in Malaysia, that is by local product. But BMF is another level. That's mean only Muslim product.
But which one has more more influence to the community? Is it by Muslim first or by local product? Same?
I think by local product, because
Oh.
by Muslim product it's happened only in a short time. But
okay.
still we got the customers, Muslim customers who are really relying on the Muslim product. That's good one lah.
Okay.
Because many factories or many producers in Malaysia also happen to be a Chinese.
Oh yeah.
Chinese. That's why
More or less the same.
kan kita dah biasa beli kan. Kita dah biasa beli, harga dia terkawal, murah. Yang berbanding dengan produk orang Islam yang baru nak mula, of course dia akan ada cost production akan tinggi sikit dan sebagainya lah. For me, even though it's quite expensive, not really expensive actually. Maybe kalau mahal pun RM1-2 je. Kan? I think suppose as a Muslim we should support.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that kita kata jangan beli barangan buatan bukan Muslim. As long as it's halal, it's okay, no problem. For me is buy local first. As long as halal, it's okay. But more importantly, you can buy Muslim first.
Okay, I think the same issues also happen because maybe some of the Muslim product, the price is quite higher than compared to the other non-Muslim products. Although both are halal certified, but somehow in this economic condition, people will see which one has the lower price.
Yeah.
Than the qualities. Yeah, sometimes.
Of course.
Orang cakap tak boleh lah.
Ada question kak?
Ada tu dia
Okay.
mak dia.
I want to ask, if I see from the slides, mostly civilization is related to urbanization. Is it also closely related to modernization?
Urbanization, if we can put to context civilization, wait lah.
Because
This one.
urbanization is related to cities. Usually people live in urban areas, right? They are more modern usually. Yeah.
Urban, actually urban too, we can see equally to the cities.
Yeah.
Where everything got there. Okay, you have buildings, house of people. Buildings mean house of people.
Yes.
House for worship, center of government, blah 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 and so on. Surplus food, blah blah and so on. That's mean if you live on that particular area which has the criteria that given before, urbanized society, that means you are civilized. You urbanized society. Like Jakarta. You have everything, right?
Yes.
Food supply. Even though you didn't have a farm in Jakarta, but you have a food supply. The food supply never stop. That means continuously provided, maybe by the farm from Jogja, from Bandung, blah blah and so on. But still you have enough food supply, you have water supply, blah blah and so on. You have a lot of the kemudahan yang sangat complete. That is mean urbanized. When you are urbanized, you are civilized.
So is it more the same like modernism? Because like everything is available in there.
Modern is quite the atas sikit. Modern still under the definition of the civilization if you want to talk about the modernism. But modern dia punya definition ni lebih kepada new things yang memudahkan kita. Macam sebelum ni sebelum ni
so
kita
it's up
buat
to date. Modern is more up to date on
macam sebelum ni kita tak handphone, phone kita tak ada handphone, kita ada phone biasa kan. Now the more modern you are, the more easy lifestyle you have. That is the modern. Modern that is modern. Modern mean memudahkan kehidupan anda gitu.
Okay.
Sebelum ni TV kita hanya tengok di TV, but now you can watch TV throughout your phone. So
it's more like you catch up with the technology, modern.
Yeah. The advancement, modern is the advancement of technology. Yes, thank you. Because of technology is part of the character that we need in civilization. Okay, apa?
Just nak tanya lah kalau pasal asabiah tadi kan, kesepuan tu kan. So kalau term yang macam kita faham dulu, kesepuan tu dia macam puak yang dia je lah yang paling hebat. Boleh tak kalau kita samakan dengan ethnocentrisme lah tu? Sebenarnya.
Dia termasuk juga ethnocentrism, lepas tu racism boleh masuk juga. Dia part of the zem tu. Dia part.
Kalau macam yang Asyiqah tunjuk pun daripada term yang positifnya, kalau kita tunjuk yang local product tu pun daripada orang kata yang sisi positif lah untuk asabiah kesukuan tu kan, kita membantu. Okay.
Tak semua asabiah tu dikira sebagai tak elok. Macam contoh dia untuk tujuan kita nak memajukan ekonomi orang Islam, buy Muslim first. Dia hanya berlaku dalam kalangan orang Islam. Dia asabiah dalam kalangan orang Islam, tapi dia tak asabiah dalam kalangan etnik yang beragama Islam. Bukan. Orang Islam yang daripada etnik lain. Contoh dia etnik Cina, etnik India yang Muslim. So kita tak secluded dia orang. As long as dia Muslim, they also support the buy Muslim first regarding their ethnicities or their language. As long as they are Muslim, jadi dia buy produk Muslim. Tak kira lah produk tu keluaran Cina ke Melayu ke siapa-siapa ke, as long as produk tu adalah produk Muslim dibeli oleh orang Muslim. Itu asabiah dari sudut ekonomi gitu. Ekonomi, kepenggunaan dan ekonomi. Ekonomi lah itu. Macam kalau kes di Indonesia, syarikat Islam kan. Syarikat Islam dia develop because of dia nak thrive the industry, batik industri yang dimonopoli oleh orang Cina. Jadi orang tempatan yang meniaga batik tak dapat dapat untung ataupun tak dapat nak thrive lah dia punya bisnes batik trading yang pada waktu tu adalah dah keluar daripada Indonesia. That means they export outside the Indonesia, but the monopoly of the industry belong to the Chinese. So syarikat Islam ditubuhkan untuk gabungan untuk orang Islam mendapatkan balik hak-hak mereka dalam perdagangan batik di Indonesia pada waktu itu, sebelum dia involve dengan politik. Saya tak ingat tahun bila, tapi it's around early 1800 macam tu lah, 1800 something macam tu. So that is part of the macam lebih kurang BMF kita jugalah, cuma in term of the business, business venture. Jadi orang kata apa, Asyiqah dari sudut ekonomi juga itu. Jadi dekat sini dia melawan orang Islam melawan non-Muslim. Itu je. Bukan lawan bunuh-bunuh. Okay, bukan. It's not. Okay. Kalau macam dari sudut racism is more specific. Racism ni lebih kepada kebencian. Ethnocentrism pun lebih kepada kebencian. Lebih kepada kebencian adalah perkara yang tak elok lah. Sobiah ni half, I think maybe kita boleh discuss either dia ada half baik, half buruk lah macam tu. There is a good one, bad side one. Macam tu. Okay tak Naimah? Nang?
Okay, boleh.
Okay. Lagi.
Lagi? Any additional question? Sister?
Sister Nurul Afika, do you have any question? Tak ada, tidur pun. Taklah itu. Okay, kalau tak ada apa-apa, I think we can.
No additional questions, so we can end this early.
No.
No.
Okay, so barbarian.
Tengok yang sebelum ni.
Ni.
Prince
Diponegoro.
Diponegoro kan? Oh, Central Java. Oh, okay.
Kan dia kena tangkap.
Oh, General dekat.
Kan dia kena tangkap. So from this when you hold the power, you have the opportunity to depict your enemy ataupun orang bawahan anda tu nampak lebih lemah daripada anda. From this one, this is Nicholas Pinaman ni, dia pelukis Belanda kot kalau tak salah saya.
Okay.
So when you are Orientalist painter, of course you will depict your race as a superior than other race. So dekat sini tengok, nampak tak dia buat hari tu saya ada belajar macam mana kita nak baca painting. We want to read the painting, how we want to apa yang kita panggil kalau nak baca painting ni? Nak baca
interpret the painting.
Interpret the painting throughout bila dia dilukis oleh siapa.
But this one is from the Western perspective.
From the Western perspective, nampak tak dia buat macam gloomy days kan? Gloomy days untuk orang-orang Jawa, untuk orang Indonesia pada waktu ni mereka sedih because of Diponegoro ni kena tangkap dengan General Dutch ni. So General Dutch ni diberi cahaya, nampak tak cahaya dekat dia? That's mean the glory of the Dutch government success to erase the local power.
So you see from the pictures also the enemies is more lighter compared to the native.
That's how they depict the local people and to be differentiate with themselves. Kalau European, you must be very white. Kalau non-European, you must be very black, or you are brown.
At least
yellow.
your clothes very look darker than the Western.
That's how they depict the people who lost the power lah. Itu ya. So this is very important on how to interpret the painting. There is another one painting by the Indonesian painter also during that time. The way he depict the submission of Prince Diponegoro in different light. You can see there is another one. I don't remember the name, but he's the one who among the earliest painter, local painter. I mean Indonesian and Muslim painter that paint Orientalist painting, but in the side of the local people. It's quite ni lah. Yang painting ni saja pun dah banyak benda kita kena belajar lah. because I'm not an expert, I just repeat what had been said by the expert lah. Okay, ni pun sama juga. Always
Changing also,
depict, they always depicting the Middle Eastern as the culture of having a harem. Which harem is only belongs to the palace. Kalau tempat lain mana nak ada harem? And harem also is not a prostitution. It's not a prostitution institution. There's more than that.
Bukan harem ni dia dekat yang Turki punya ke? Bukan.
Harem Turki pun ada, di palace of the ni lah, Middle Eastern pun ada.
Oh.
Dia ni macam rumah dayang-dayang tau.
Oh yeah.
Dayang-dayang apa dalam bahasa Indonesia?
Apa? Like second wife?
Concubine.
Or concubine?
The house of
Kan same as
concubine.
second wife ya?
No, second wife is different.
No, in the kingdom, not in the real life. No ya.
Even
tak kahwin ya?
even in Indonesia also ada juga macam ni. Tapi kita tak panggil harem lah. Kita tak ada institution, harem institution.
But there's no marriage with harem ya?
Macam gundik bukan? Macam gundik.
Gundik?
Gundik.
Girlfriend ya? Juga?
Ada yang in the end ada yang dia kahwin, ada yang tak. Macam the case of the Turkey, Sultan apa yang tak ingat? Sultan Sulaiman kot, dia kahwin dengan Hurrem tu, nama dia Hurrem. Nama asal dia orang Greek kot kalau tak salah. Hurrem tu nama asal dia Alexandria macam tu lah nama dia. Lepas tu dia bila dia dah duduk di harem tu, dia orang tukar nama tak jadi Hurrem. Lepas tu in the end dia kahwin dengan dapat nikah, that means dapat status lah. Dapat status. Kalau gundik biasa, kemungkinan hanya melayan saja, melayan sultan. It is nothing to do with the sex. It's nothing to do with the intercourse. Because in the eye of the Western, kalau diorang ingat kalau duduk di harem ni mesti ada buat sexual intercourse. That is not necessarily to be the case. So the study about the harem itself banyak juga. Kalau dia duduk di harem ni, it's not only just duduk ataupun serve. They also learn something else. They learn many things. They not only learn painting lah apa no. They learn about kitab-kitab. They learn about the science, technology apa semua dia belajar. Strategi government strategy bla ada juga. It is depend on their liking lah, what they want to learn, they will learn. It's not only serving the sultan or serving the palace. Okay, so people that live in harem actually intellectual woman, not a stupid woman. So kalau kita termakan dengan oriental painting ni memang cantik. We see that is a very wonderful one. But it's giving another meaning, another misunderstanding from the bad perspective lah. That's all. So we need to, in order to know something, we need to study, not accepting directly from the Orientalists, especially because of as I said before, the Orientalists they have a good good agenda. Second, the bad agenda. The bad agenda is very very dangerous one lah. That's all. Okay. If you don't have any question,
comment maybe from Sister Naimah and Sister Siti Nurul.
No.
Before we end this, no.
Okay. If you don't have any question, I think we can end our session today. Maybe inshallah we'll see again on second series. I don't know when.
Inshallah, yeah. Okay.
Inshallah, I will come with another interesting topic lah.
Yeah,
Not
maybe
the
if
boring
the
like this.
audience want to know about something related to history, just contact us. Maybe we can provide the class. Yeah.
Okay.
Inshallah, I'll try to find out more about the superstitious practice among the Malay and the Indonesian people. Inshallah.
But mostly, if I saw from the current webinar, mostly they talk about disease and how to cure the health in different ways and how to cure COVID in something else. Maybe you can read the histories of that one.
Inshallah. Maybe
Traditional.
maybe I can put the superstitious practice during COVID ke, something like that, right?
Yeah, because in my country also some of us doesn't believe if COVID exists, although we have so many cases. Yeah, they said that maybe it's just like work of the doctors selling drugs, and maybe the worst thing cause COVID is because of the drugs, and that's why that make people die because of COVID. Yeah, some of that still think about that. So they refuse to have a vaccination. Some group there.
Ya Allah.
That's why.
They need to make a restriction to force people for vaccination. I think Malaysia inshallah will exercise the restriction who are not receiving vaccination, not
so
allowed
it's a must for vaccination, right?
It's not allowed to leave the country, not allowed to use the public transportation.
That's very good. Yeah, we don't have that kind of provision.
Suppose they need to emphasize the law like that lah. But not all lah. I think could consider some of the restriction lah, not all restriction, because we know common people they still need to cari makan kan. So kalau buat semua restriction tak boleh, susah lah juga. But that's part of the restriction might force them to take a vaccine.
That's very good.
Kalau tak vaksin tak boleh masuk kerja. Kalau tak vaksin tak boleh berjualan. So
okay.
Part of the restriction, inshallah will teach them the lesson to listen lah. Okay.
Okay. Any additional before I make a closing?
No. Tak ada.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sister Nang Naima and Sister Nurul Asyiqah. And the two participants who cannot attend, I will email them. And if you have any revision on your name for the certificate, just let us know. For the closing, we hope that everything we have conveyed from the first class until the third class beneficial for you. Sister Naima also attend, and Sister Nurul Asyiqah also attend our previous session. We hope that it give you a new knowledge on history. I mean, history is not the same as science. I mean, history is based on literature, stories, and also kitab, and maybe some other perception. We see that different perception come up with different histories. But if we have more like literatures and theories that really stress on what behind all the definition and everything, we sure that we learn something new about the histories. And any last closing from Ms. Asyiqah?
I don't think I have any closing, but thank you for joining the session today. Even though it's quite boring for some people, that's why we don't have a lot of audience. But I think maybe because of the title of the discussion, make people quite boring. So I must come up with a interesting topic regarding to the present events or any topic that make people open their eyes or want to know more about this thing.
Yes.
I feel this thing is not well well documented or not well informed for the public. So I think maybe the topic must be more open for the public lah.
Yeah.
If
I can see that, yeah, history is also related to every sectors in economic, social, politics, because we need a strong foundation, and we learn that from history. So it's good for us to come out with new ideas, right?
Okay.
Okay.
If there is nothing else, I think you can end the session.
Okay, I will end this with Alhamdulillah as kafaratul majlis. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. I hope what we have today we can convey to others and share our knowledge so others can also get the benefit. Okay. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, assalamualaikum everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.